Learning Perik Aleph, Halacha Dalet, Chometz Shevel Pesach. Chometz that was left over Pesach. Also Ba'anai Le'olam is also Ba'anor forever. V'dov is a knas who it's a knas. Now we'll go down to the Peirush HaMeir. Here we find that we're going to be discussing if Chometz Shevel Pesach Ba'anor is muta Ba'anor or not. Chometz that Chom forbade mishum knas, is that only for the him or for the whole world? If somebody stole it from him and gave it back to him after Pesach, what's the din? Is he allowed to use it after Pesach? And Chometz shel cotton, whether the Chacham or Geizer and the Chometz of a cotton. We'll start Daled. The Rambam's lotion is always in the bowl black. Chometz shel Pesach, and it's found in Rishus Yisrael. It's also Ba'anai Le'olam. It's forbidden forever. This is from Midrabanan. Because he was over on the lavs, two lavin according to the Rambam of Bal Yiro Bal Yemotza. Asrua, even if he left the b'shoigig, he didn't know it was there. Or that he couldn't, for some reasons we'll see later, be able to destroy it or get rid of it. They still find him. There should be also oilom forever. So a person shouldn't come to leave it in his domain. He might want to use it after Pesach, because if he can benefit from it, from what's left in his, when it's b'shoigig, he might leave it there purposefully and say that he was shoigig. Now the Magen Mishnah cites the Mishnah Msochim. Chometz of a goy, Pesach is mutar ba'anor, but from Yisrael it's also ba'anor, as it says in Shmois le'yoro lechos oil. The Gemara explains that this Mishnah is going according to Reb Shimon, who holds him in Atayr Chometz Shevel Pesach is mutar. However, Midrabanan they forbade it because he was over and Bal Yiro Bal Yemotza. So the Magen Mishnah explains that which the Rambam says, even if he left the b'shoigig or b'oinus, it doesn't mean that he was mamish over and Bal Yiro Bal Yemotza. Only that the chometz sheroi lave olav. If it's chometz that one could transgress, the chachamim find him, they should be also ba'anor. This is the exclusion of chometz of a goy that's permitted to remain in his domain. Furthermore, the Magen Mishnah says, Rishonim prove that even when he left the b'shoigig or b'oinus, they did find him. It should be also forever. From the din that we find in Yisrael that gave a pekudon to a goy. The Rambam writes in Perik Dalet Halacha Hey, Yisrael that gave his chometz to a goy who lent him money, and he left him the chometz as a mashkin. If the Yisrael said to the goy, if I don't bring it to you, you will take this as your collateral until such and such a day. If he said knei zeh me'achshav, if he says then it will be yours from today, not from after Pesach, from today, so that's considered b'rishus hagoy, and that chometz is mutar after Pesach. But it has to be that the time, and he says me'achshav is before Pesach, or the time that it comes to be paid is before Pesach. If he didn't say do it from now, that chometz is like a pekudon by the goy, and it's like his chometz by a goy. It's also ba'anor because any chometz you have anywhere in the world is also is forbidden for you on Pesach, and the Chachamim made it a knas that you can't find you even after Pesach. Since the Rambam doesn't make a difference in oinus whether he could pay or he couldn't pay, we see that even if it was left there without any ability of the Jew to take care of it, it's also ba'anor. The Magen Mishnah cites the Ran that if he was not over on the chometz, he forgot it, and only after Pesach he found it. It's mutar ba'anor. According to the Ram, chometz that was by a goy a mashkin is only when the Jew had the ability to pay it off. But when he didn't have the ability to pay it off, he's an onus, and the chometz is mutar ba'anor. Or one could say, if he didn't have one he wasn't able to pay it, it's forbidden, because when he gave it to the goy from to begin with, he wasn't onus, he wasn't forced. But when he was an onus gomer, where the goy took it without his permission, or he didn't know about the chometz, it's mutar ba'anor after Pesach, and that's the opinion also of Rabbeinu Manoach. We turn to page 34. Here in the Peirush HaMeir, chometz that the Chacham asid is it also to him, or only to the entire world? The Kesef Mishnah adds that Racham forbade the Chametz to the whole world, not just to the one who left it. The Rabbeinu Manoach brings that from the Rif that the Chametz is only also to the one who left it. Now he also brings there are those who prove that Chametz is also from the whole world, from Chulin, Davdal Adam and Aleph. The Chametz of Ovdei Avera after Pesach Mutar Miyad Mipnei B'Shein Machalfim, meaning in order that they shouldn't be over on the Avera, they changed their beer, for example, which is Chametz Gomor, with the beer of a goy. And therefore, a Jew afterwards can eat it. If we'll say that Achomim never forbade it anyway to Jews, just to the person who left it, then why does he have to exchange it? Those are the ones who want to prove that the Chacham only forbade it, that Chacham actually forbade it to everyone. The Halacha L'Maaseh, in the Shulchan Aruch, we find the Psak Halacha, Chametz of a non-Jew that was over al Pesach is mutar ba'achilo. Furthermore, it says there, Chametz shel Yisrael shov al Pesach is also ba'ano, even if he left it b'shoyeg oines, and if he sold it or gave it to a non-Jew that's outside of his house, and he did it before Pesach, even though the Yisrael sold it, and he knows he cannot touch it, but ultimately the goy will give it back to him, it's mutar. However, he has to make sure that he gives it with a total matona, without any condition he should give it back to him, because if he gives it a matona almanas la'achzir on a condition that he gives it back, it doesn't help. This is from where we learn the din of selling chometz, which is noeg b'chol Yisrael, that we choose the rabbi to sell it in a proper fashion, so that the chometz after Pesach is permitted, but not. It depends for what kind of chometz and what the intent was. You have to ask your rabbi. Furthermore, it says in the Shulchan Aruch, chometz shenitzah b'beis Yisrael achar Pesach. Any chometz, the Shulchan Aruch says in Tuf Mem Ches Sifhei, any chometz that's found in the house of Yisrael after Pesach, it's also even though he was mavatal it. The Pi Chodesh says that even though when he was mavatal it, he's not over b'al yirah, still the Chacham were wary. Maybe he'll say that he was mevatel it, he nullified it even though he didn't. And he cites the Yerushalmi and Psochim, Perek Beis Halacha Beis, that where if somebody it wasn't just mevatel, he made it hefka. Anybody who can come to take it. And what's the din after Pesach? Rabbi Yochanan also Reish Lakish mutar. Rabbi Yochanan was afraid that people will say they made it hefka. They left it in their house. Now Lochas Rabbi Yochanan, and we'll find further that the Mishnah Berurah writes in Siman Tuf Meches Sivkot Nekofei that many Achronim wrote that even though that he checked it as properly and the Chametz was only found after Pesach, the Chametz is also, even though he didn't have he wasn't able to do anything. Mogim Efsen Merubah, one can rely on the Mekilim if there's a great loss. Now we'll talk about Chametz which was stolen from someone and then it was given back to him after Pesach. Can he benefit from it after Pesach? The Bia Halacha, in that same Siman Tuf Mem Hey, writes Chametz shel Yisrael that if a Chametz was stolen from someone, the Nodim Yehuda wants to say it's mutar because it wasn't in his domain. We know that something that's stolen is neither in the possession of the one who had it originally, nor in the hands of the thief. But Eliyahu Rabbo is also says Leheta, even though there are Achronim who disagreed with the Nodim Yehuda. And so writes the Marit Al-Ghazi as well that it's mutar if it was stolen. Habir Halacha brings that the Goyin Rabbi Akiva Eger wants to say that the Rai of the Magid Mishnah, the Chametz of Yisrael, that he left by a Goy, even if it was done against his will, it's forbidden to benefit from it. He doesn't want to bring proof from there because it's forbidden over there that even though it wasn't in the hands of the Yisrael, he knew about it and he should have been mevatel it. And since he wasn't mevatel it, it's not choshev nenes. And he cites the Shtei Chemet that also talks about this, and we have to understand why when a Jewish Gazlan takes it, he could have the other Jew, the one who owned it originally, could also have been mevatel it. Hachiezer asked the question by Chometz of a cotton. Shavuot al Pesach. We said the knas, the fine is because it's lest he be transgressed on by your Yemotze. That a cotton can be over on by your Yemotze, and therefore they did not fine him for his chametz. And so the Pri Megadim has with the same question with regard to Cherish Shoyte, including cotton, to all of our Pesach, if the Rachamim forbade it or they didn't.